Hello, this is Kristen Brindley with DC Metro Real Producers. Welcome to our podcast. This is Kristen Brindley, publisher of DC Metro Real Producers, and I'm here with a fantastic Chanin. And Chanin works with First Washington Mortgage here, and thank you so much for having me in, Chanin, and being a partner, and very much appreciate you.
Of course.
And I've known Chanin for a while now, and she's a partner of DC Metro Real Producers, and her spotlight is coming up in the November issue, and we're going to interview this amazing boss lady today, and the November issue is Fulcrum Properties will be on the cover, and that's going to be hitting soon. If you haven't checked out the the October issue. Goodness, it's going so quickly. It's going so fast. Yeah. But Samara was on the cover of October. September was Tom Daly. And please do check it out if you haven't. So, Chanin, you've been in the mortgage industry as a loan officer for 17 years now.
Yeah, 17 years.
She started as a young child. So, Chanin, let's see here. You have had a lot of different roles. I can't wait to hear. I wanted to tell your story and tell us. Did you always plan on being a lender? Was that always in the plan?
Yeah. No.
Tell us about your story and how this came to be.
Yeah. I went to University of Maryland with the intention of being a physical therapist, and chemistry was just a little bit tough for me. So I switched to a business major. And then luckily, I got a job right out of school doing medical device sales. So that gave my love for the anatomy and physiology kind of paired with my natural affinity for sales.
That makes sense. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I love that. I was really successful. I did that for 10 years. And then after being in that business and then married for 8, it was kind of time to do the family thing. It was either do it or not do it. At that point.
This boss lady made some decisions right there.
So I figured I needed a job that I didn't have to be in the OR at 7 a.m. with scrubs on and my stuff run through the sterilizer.
That sounds like a challenge right there.
Yeah. So I was talking to my brother, and he owned his own mortgage company in California, and he said, well, why don't you come work for me? I said, all right, next time you come home from Christmas, talk to me like I'm the guy down the street, not your sister, and we'll see how this can work.
Smart move. So tell us about that progression. How was the first week, the first loan, and then how did you end up where you are now?
Yeah, I went out to train in San Diego with my brother and his team, and while I was out there, I originated my first loan, and it was a service member. He was somewhere in the Middle East. He wasn't allowed to tell me exactly where because he was flying in the darkness of night with the bad guys. So it was a neat experience. We did it all over email and a little bit of phone, but not much, as you can imagine. And we closed with a power of attorney. He came home about a month later, and then we had a really good relationship, and he went on to buy 2 other investment properties. So it made me really happy and proud to know that I helped someone who was serving our country buy their first home. So that was pretty special.
That is pretty special. And that makes sense to me because when did you had your first investment property at 23?
Well, bought my first home at 23, and then by the time I was 28, I had a handful of investment properties.
That is pretty boss.
Yeah. So I was actually buying investment properties even before I was a mortgage loan officer.
That's a very smart move.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the progression of so now you're here, and how long have you been at, First Washington Mortgage?
I've been at First Washington Mortgage for about 10 years now.
10 years now?
Uh-huh.
And so why do you love it? Why are you here? Yeah.
I love it because I've got the freedom and flexibility to do what I want marketing-wise. And we also have the freedom and flexibility to put people in the right loan product for them. We can close in our own name as a lender. And we can also broker deals out. So if there's a loan out there, we can probably get it done, whether it's some type of portfolio loan, a no-income investor, something for self-employed people like a bank statement program, or just your regular, FHA, VA, jumbo, first-time home buyer. We've really got it all.
That's fantastic, and that makes sense for like your personality, get it done, and you're like, I'm gonna get it done. Yeah. So that's why you're here. I want to ask. I love this question. So how do you get your clients? Like, give us the dirt. Like, how do you do you advertise? Do you how do you get your clients?
Most of my clients come from realtor referrals, and I work really hard at the relationship. I mean, for me, it's a real partnership. And my background playing team sports, I'm a huge sports enthusiast, and the team concept is important to me. And I take the referrals. I don't take them lightly. Like it means that I'm a part of the team, and it's on me to get that loan done. I send out client loan updates to both the listing agent and the buyer's agent and the buyer, so everybody's on the same page. Listing agents won't have to waste time trying to wait for a phone call back from the buyer's agent to wait for a phone call back from me to see where we stand. What's the status? Has the appraisal been ordered? Did the appraisal come back? Do we have loan approval? Do we have financing contingency? All that stuff I do for you. You're going to know it. The agents are going to know it before they even need to ask it. So the communication system is, I think, top notch, and I want everybody to be on the same page because the key to a smooth transaction is an open line of communication.
That sounds like a fantastic system.
Yeah,
that does set you apart. That's a differentiator. So advertising. So how do you you showed me some cards earlier. Can you show these guys?
Yeah. So in addition to advertising in your magazine, I knew Kristen from Cutco. I give that as a closing gift to all my clients. And when she was launching the magazine, she came to me and asked if I wanted to be a partner and a sponsor. And I said, of course so, because I always want to be a part of what this one does. Then that's the only print advertising I do, really, and that really gives me a good bang for my buck. And it gets me in front of the top agents and the best of the best in the DC metro area. So that's where I want to be. Cards. I want to show you guys this. If you are looking to do old school, we're all on Facebook, we're all on Insta, we do all this other stuff, but this is becoming really successful for me recently. Note Card Cafe. They're 26 sets each. I get to pick really cool. The pictures, and then we are able to customize the inside. You guys probably can't see this, but this went out in June. June 10th is actual National Iced Tea Day.
I love the bizarre holidays.
Yeah,
those
right.
are fantastic.
So,
for you stuff.
Hey, I hope you have a nice cozy spot like this to enjoy a cool glass of iced tea. This one was our back to school September, and I put a quote from J.K. Rowling and a bookmarks in here. So this, it's the little things like this, kind of like the Popeyes from Buffini, but I'm sending them once a month. This was my Memorial Day with little packets of sunscreen. So
I hadn't seen that one before.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
And we did a 4th of July one, and I shoved some little fun things in there. And, that's generating all those people that I closed loans with and did a good job for. It's getting my name back in their conscious to call me when they've got a question or thinking about buying or refining, or they've got a friend or a colleague. So that works. I also do a lot of partner with a lot of my real estate agent friends to do Homebuyer Seminars. Try to do a little bit out of the box sometimes. We've done a murder mystery buyer seminar where someone's rent got killed. That was a lot of fun. I do a lot of investment seminars. So for those KW agents out there, I'll give these books out at my investment seminars and teach people the basics of investing. We do Facebook ads. I'm really, because we're a small company, I don't have layers and layers of corporate folks to get my ideas approved. I just kind of run with it.
That's fantastic. Good for you. There's a lot of bureaucracy a lot of times, right? And then you're teaching this class. You teach for GCAR. What? Right. Tell us about the bank. Yes. You were telling me about it earlier. Yeah.
It's really pretty cool. Bank is a proven methodology, scientifically proven. We've got white papers and this cool book, Why They Buy. So what I'm going to do, it's a scientifically proven methodology to increase your closing rate up to 300%. It's DISC and Myers-Briggs and all these other methodologies teach you about yourself and where your strengths are. What bank tells you about is your clients, why they buy, how they buy, how to get your clients to say yes. And I will be bringing the book and a class and these cards to an agent near you very soon. And G-Card's also going to let me teach non-CE credit classes for this. And I've got a class coming up as well.
That's great. You're always looking to serve and help your people. So what is, like, if you were to pick out like a secret weapon for you or a way that you do business, what is it that helps you stand out on the day-to-day? What is it for you? And if you were to look at the next like 1 to 5 years, and where would you like to be? Where are you looking to go with your business and your partnerships and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think the first part of the question, what sets me apart, I think it's kind of 2 or 3 things. One, I really care about the business and the families and the people that I help. I really try to get to know their goals and put them in the right product, or present a couple of different products to them and let them choose and guide them through, because I always tell my clients, this isn't something that people learn in school. So you really have to rely on the experts to help you through this. I don't do 30 or 40 loans a month. I do a handful, and I do them really well. And that paired with my communication with the agents, they like working with me because they don't have to worry about what's next. My buyers don't have to worry about what's coming next because we've already communicated that all to them. As well as the fact that, I'm this hybrid mini correspondent type thing where we can lend in our own name and we can also broker out. So I've got a lot of freedom and flexibility to totally customize the whole loan experience.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And not the run-of-the-mill normal thing.
No, not the run-of-the-mill normal thing. And you had asked me about where I see myself in 5 years. If recently, about a year ago, I got my own assistant. Of course, I have a processor. I've always worked with a processor. I have my own assistant, and she helps me with a lot of the marketing stuff that before I just was working so much in my business, I wasn't able to work on my business. So she helps me with that aspect as well, and helps me to, get out there more, go to more networking events, teach more classes, offer up more ideas and marketing, things. So, I'd love to be at the point where we can bring some other loan officers and maybe another assistant on and grow a team, because I think, I've laid the foundation and I know what works at this point. If I don't, I'm in trouble.
Absolutely. Good for you. And I think that those are totally attainable goals. I'm really excited for you. Like, I saw the progression of before assistant, after assistant, and just going after life, and I'm really happy for you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to express to the real producers out there?
I'd love to, meet some of you all and maybe go out for coffee and brainstorm ideas. I love to brainstorm new ideas to get new business, because the market's changing. The market is changing. The stock market is changing. The buying environment, even in DC, we're still a hot area, but it's going to change. So I'd love to tell people about the new loan programs coming out. I've got a lot of options for investors, for self-employed. I've got another product that will help people pay off their loan quicker and easier without going to a 15-year mortgage, but usually taking a 30-year and getting it paid off in 12 to 14 years. It's a completely different type of product. It's pretty sophisticated, but it's pretty cool and used in the right way.
Well, you heard it here, real producers, and thank you so much, Chanin, for taking time out of your busy day. Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
And any questions for Chanin, feel free to write them in, and have a fantastic day, everybody.
Yay, bye Facebook.
You've heard it from DC Metro Real Producers.